All right, let's prepare to share the screen. All right. So I believe the last time we physically had a class, we stopped at the pH scale, and we're just going over some chemical safety. But just for us going back and doing a light review before we pick it back up, the pH scale, pH stands for potential hydrogen. All right, potential hydrogen. And that scale goes from a 0 to 14. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is just give some common notes about the pH scale. It goes from 0 to 14. 7 is neutral. Okay. 7 is neutral. And when you think of something being neutral, think of distilled water. When we have to use the suggested water to use in our steamers is distilled water, not spring water, not tap water, but distilled water. All right. So it's neutral. It also does not have minerals and things like that that may build up and cause your machine to rust, okay? And this prolongs the age of the machine. Then you're talking about, is it acidic side and an alkaline side, all right? So acidic is from 0 to 6, and then alkaline is from 8 to 14, okay? Here's another thing you need to know. The closer the number is to 7, okay, the weaker the product is probably going to be. But the further away it is from 7, the stronger the product is, okay? And you may think of it as 0 to 1. Oh, it's just one step. No, it's 10. It should be, look, 10 times 10, all right? It should be a 10 times 10,000, 10 times, all right? And so what happens, that shows you how much stronger one product is over the next product, all right? Let's look at acids and alkalines. It said acids, they owe their chemical reactivity to the hydrogen ion, all right? The pH below 7. These are some things that you're gonna find below 7. You definitely see the lemon. So anything citrus is going to be below 7. Let me just stick a pin in there too. Anything citrus, a lot of times your enzymes and your chemical peels, your skin lifting products will sometimes have a citrus base. Papaya, grapefruit, lemon, things of that nature, right? So those are going to be good for dark spots and lifting of dead skin cells. So you'll see those in a lot of enzyme ingredients, okay? And so what do we have below 7? Alpha hydroxy acids, AHAs, okay? These are cleansers, okay, that mainly have an acidic pH, all right? And alpha hydroxy acids could also be great for acne as well. And you got thioglycolic acid, okay? You may say, Ms. Cox, what's thioglycolic acid? If you ever heard of the Jerry curl, the permanent wave, the Gina curl, okay? That's a thioglycolic acid. It is a form, it is in the relaxer category, okay? It's in a relaxer category. And then there's glycolic acid, which is the safest the safest peel or the safest acid that our state says minimum that we can use. Okay, so there's glycolic acid, and then you have acids and alkalis. All right, here's where it says alkalis. They owe their chemical relativity to the hydroxide ion. All right, hydroxide. When you think of hydroxide, I think of relaxers. I think of sodium hydroxide, okay? I'm thinking about detergent. I'm thinking about hair color developer. I'm thinking about lye. Okay. So I'm thinking about any kind of chemicals. Okay. Those are alkalized. It has a pH above a 7.0. Okay. It feels slippery and soapy on the skin. All right. You still need to make sure the skin is cleansed to make sure all of that product is off the skin, but it feels slippery and soaky on the skin. Sodium hydroxide, which is another word for lye. Think about lye relaxers used in chemical hair relaxers, callus removers, and drain cleaners. Okay. Now, when you think about drain cleaners, all right, shoot, can we use it on our face? In fact, a lot of cold pressed soaps are made from drain cleaners. You mix the cold base, the drain cleaners in with the base of the soap, the oils, okay? And as you mix and let set at a certain temperature, the lye starts to form soap. And then over a period of time, that lye goes away. All right. And so a lot of times when you find somebody who's making homemade cold pressed soap, when you make the soap that day, you cannot use it because the lye is so strong, the pH is so strong. Well, they suggest 6 weeks down the line, then you can use that soap because the pH and the lye would have minimized all the way down. Okay. So we look at callus softeners. Also, when you also look at lye, you look at depilatories of hair removal, such as Nair. All right, has an alkaline base like a relaxer. So you put the product on the skin, and then it pretty much melts or over process the hair, and that's how the hair is removed. Okay. And of course, we have check-in questions, define pH, and draw the pH scale. If you did not do your check-in questions, I need you to go ahead and work on your check-in questions, okay? Here's an acid alkali neutralization, which is be your neutralizer for your acid heals or your neutralizers for your thioglycolic or your neutralizers for relaxers, okay? Water ion in reverse. So you have hydrogen plus oxygen hydrogen that gives you H2O. And then you have mixing acids and alkalis in equal proportions. It forms water. Now, what I do want you to look at is H2O2. So that's 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. What that simply means is that is the developer that you can mix with hair color, okay? That is developer that you can mix with brow tint, H2O2, all right? So it's just a little off from water, but it's absolutely the same thing. Hold on one moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. All right. Just making sure no one else is on the other line. Oh, someone is on the other line. Welcome, Sonny. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was glad I clicked over to make sure I didn't see anybody, but you're here. Okay, guys, make sure you guys have clocked in as well. If you have not already, including Sunny, I know you're on this side, chapter 6, check-in questions, okay? Go ahead and prepare chapter 6 check-in questions to be turned in this week, all right? And so that's one of the assignments. So if you guys didn't get it done and sent in from yesterday, just make sure you have it in by Friday, okay? Chapter 6, check-in questions. All right, so we've been talking about the pH scale. Now we're talking about neutralization. And you can neutralize products not only with shampoos and normalizing lotions. When you hear the word normalize, that means neutralize. And you may say, Ms. Cox, what is neutralize? That means to stop the reaction of the product, stop the reaction of the chemical. And so a lot of times we will neutralize, all right? And that stops and slows down the action. Add water to it, and we get rid of that action, okay? And we completely want to rinse and cleanse that chemical from the skin and from the cuticle of the hair. Now, in acid peels, there is something called neutralizing the acid, all right? Neutralizing the acid. So some companies still have the old school acids where you have to, put it on, let it set, and then you neutralize. You have to slow it down, okay? Let the client go home, and then it'll start to peel. But now you have companies that have self-neutralizing. So you don't have to worry about doing that step. It's just at a certain time, that product, that acid peel stops working and it minimizes itself. It starts to neutralize itself so it doesn't keep going, okay? Remember, here's the thing about water too. If you don't get rid of all the chemical, whether it's on the skin, the hair, okay? Or if you don't get rid of all the chemical that's on the skin or the hair, when you add water to it, it reactivates that product. So for example, I'm gonna use relaxers since we all have grown up in a relaxer world. If Jemiah did a relaxer at home versus Jemiah doing a relaxer in the salon. With a relaxer in the salon, you have a shampoo bowl that has water temperature that is strong enough to rinse out all the products from the hair, okay? And just say the Jemiah did the relaxer at home. Well, the water temperature is not the same. You have water temperature from your sink or your shower. It's very mild. It gives the appearance that the product is rinsed out. But in turn, when that hair dries, it's just stuck. Okay? I mean, that process has stopped. But once the moisture gets back on that hair, that process starts back up again. So you may say, Ms. Cox, yeah, I relaxed my hair at home and then I rinsed it out. Well, because you didn't have the proper water treatment, you left some product in the scalp or you left some product in the hair cuticle. Because you didn't get that out, when you took a shower and that steam, that moisture got back on your hair, you start to smell that chemical again. That's called weeping oxidation. Weeping oxidation. What that simply means is that chemical, no matter what it was, has started to reactivate and it's lingering. So even though you don't see it, but you can smell it, what's happening is that chemical started back up again. And now we have over processing. And that clock has not stopped because you don't have the neutralizer body. come back in with the neutralizer, and you start to reverse that clock. All right. So this is what we think about when we got acids, alkalines. Yes, 7 is neutral. It's an acid alkali neutral, but at the same time, if you look at aesthetics and how will we use a neutralizer, we would use it to neutralize chemicals on our skin. And if you don't rinse all of that chemical off the skin, when you hit water, sweat, steam, heat again, it is going to reactivate that chemical. So you have to make sure if you're putting acid peel on the face that you're properly removing it. Okay? Redox reaction. So this is what I want to say is called oxidation. Remember I said weeping oxidation? Think of weeping as a kid crying, a baby crying. And then you have oxidation. The oxidating agent releases oxygen. That means if we were doing hair color, when you start to see the color or the hair or the color start to change colors, the oxygen has mixed with the chemical that's causing the color to change. All right. Same thing for Jerry curl, same thing for relaxer, same thing for chemical peels. All right. The way that it starts to work, something has to be released. So oxygen is being released for this product to effectively work. All right. How do we make this product stop working? We make it stop working with water and neutralizer. Okay. Practice chemical safety. We need to always read our labels, okay? So chemical safety, it is a primary concern and there are risks to not reading your labels. The labels identify hazards, cautions, and give directions. Let me say that again. The label identifies hazards, cautions, and directions, which means also if you are taking a product that, we have product making class. So if you're making a product and you're selling it and there's an exchange of money, remember you have a responsibility to have a label on that product. You need to, or you can have a little flyer with the product and it needs to say hazards. So what would be the hazards? Okay, not to spray this around in a flame area. Okay, not to use this with a another TCA ingredient. It just depends. That's the hazard. The caution: wear gloves. Okay, wear goggles. That's a caution. And then directions, or caution could be don't mix water with it. Keep the top on. The directions will be how to use it. Take a small dime size amount, rub it in the hand, apply water, and put it on the face of the body. Let set for 5 minutes, rest well, apply moisturize. Those are directions, okay? And so in aesthetics, we are going to be sticklers for reading ingredients. We practice chemical safety. We look at transportation. The transportation of chemical safety, warning labels, okay, incompatible products. So yes, we have warning labels. You have to understand that sometimes Europe has products that America does not approve. That means because you're in America, you cannot use that. And if you fly over there and try to bring it back, they're going to take it out of your bag. So it's just certain things that cannot be used in the United States unless it's an FDA approval. All right. And so that's the incompatible products. Has to be FDA approved. And also, if it's a cleanser like bleach, household bleach, even say fabuloso, even say Clorox, they must have something called an EPA, an Environmental Protection Agency number. All right. And that's going to be good for us to know because it's going to tell us what we can do with that product, what it can be mixed with, what we can't do with that product. Okay. And it also tells us how long to keep it on, on the shelf. And then there's storage. Okay, secure, unmixed. All right. So when we think of barbicide, there are measurings that you should follow, and we need to follow manufacturers' measurings. Okay, and then there are products that you don't have to mix with water. You can use at its full strength. So we have to be very careful of that too, because it could be too strong as well. I am going to. I just came off the camera so I can check and see who all was needing to jump in. We're good. We don't have anybody needing to jump in. When it comes to storage, you need to be able to secure it. So just like if you're at home, it tells you to secure your chemicals away from toddlers. All right. And so what we'll want to do is make sure we have our products in a dispensary. They can be up on the shelves. They must be labeled. All right. You got to know what you can do and what you cannot do with them. When you look at mixing, okay, we're going to ensure good ventilation and protective equipment, because sometimes you can mix your chemicals together and it can create a gas. Like you would never do ammonia and bleach. Mixing those two together and thinking that you're really cleaning, it does create a hazardous gas that when you breathe it in, it almost feels like it's choking you. Okay, and it could close your windpipe and it can cause issues to your lungs. So you got to be very, very careful that when you're thinking about like I'm finna clean from top to bottom, but there's only certain items that can be. If you're gonna use bleach, there's only certain items that can be mixed with bleach, and really it's just water. Okay, it's just water. Um, This said, be aware of potential reactions. When in doubt, do not mix, which means when you don't understand it, do not mix. When you don't know how it's going to react with this particular client's skin, do not mix. Use a clean measuring device. Yes, has to be clean, no leftover residue. Add chemical or water when using concentrated chemicals like disinfectants. You add water to concentrated items, which means it lessens the hazard, but it's just the right amount to make sure disinfection is taking place. Okay. Adding water past the required amount causes your solution to become very weak, which means your product just went down the drain. Okay. Also, look at chemical or water when using concentrated chemicals like disinfectants, and then label secondary containers. Everything must have a label to it. Here's the SDS sheets. It says interpret safety data sheets. Every product that you use, chemical, every product that you use to shift and prepare the skin, give the client their desired look, every product comes with a safety data sheet. Every product, okay? Which means it's OSHA approved. So it has a number that says OSHA has approved this facility and this product. Previously MSDS, so we used to call it material safety data sheet. Now it's safety data sheet. Okay. 16 categories and 9 pictograms. So when you're bringing a product out, you can actually go online and see what categories this product falls into. And they got pictures. And then must be accessible at all times. In Mississippi, the state law, I know this one for a fact, says you got to have that material safety data sheet hanging or available for clients to see it, your stylist to see it, and also a copy of the state law. Those two have to be out. In Tennessee, it just has to be accessible. You can pull it up online. It's just no big deal about whether it's hanging up or not. Here's the SDS categories, and there's 16 of them. I'm just going to do a few. Number one, identification, how hazard something is. What are the first aid measures? The physical and chemical properties, toxicological information, ecological information. Number 11, toxic. Okay, that's raw. Okay, it's gonna, how beneficial or how detrimental is this to the skin? Ecological is community. Okay, community. Disposal considerations. How do I get rid of this? Now, if you are a salon owner or you know a salon owner, ask them, what is the worst thing that somebody could pour down your shampoo bowl? And it's going to be acetone, because what happens when you pour acetone down the shampoo bowl, the acetone hits and stains that shampoo bowl, it retards it, and it could start cracking, which means your shampoo bowl you spent all that money for, putting the wrong thing down the drain, can cause the bowl to crack and to leak. Okay, let's look at SDS vocabulary: carcinogen and mutagen. All right. These are going to be two things you want to look for, because they have removed a lot of products that were cancer causing. Okay. And so even techniques and procedures like the Brazilian blowout, you know, a lot of people are moving away from it because it just has a gas that you ingest in, and they said that's connected to cancer. Then you have combustible or flammable. This picture of a flame, when you see this, it tells you that, oh, this is a potential for this product to burst, or it's the potential of this product to catch on fire. Okay. As we prepare to close out 40 through 43, it's just a summary of some of the things in chapter 6. Okay. So just closing out, chemistry is all about matter and its changes. Matter occupies space, okay, whether up or down or in width. Both you and your clients benefit from understanding and using chemical beauty services. Gotta understand it. That pH scale is gonna be the biggest takeaway for this chapter. All right. On Wednesday night, we are going to build a pH scale. So go get some of your favorite products. All right. And we're going to build a pH scale as a group, and it's going to be a group assignment. All right. So you'll get some credit for it. It's going to be a group assignment. And so come ready, bring some skincare, bring a skincare list, a hair care list, or even some foods. And we're going to build a pH scale in Canva together. All right. And then there's the chemical safety component. It involves following labels, safety data sheets, and best practices, which means it may not be the rule, but it may be a golden rule. Here's some best ways to discard chemicals. Here's some best ways, okay, to discard wrappers. Where should we keep our SES sheets, so on and so on. And then stay informed for safety and profit, which means I'm going to always have my neck connected to stay board. For anything news coming out, I'm going to be up to date. And I'm always going to just subscribe to some industry magazines like American Salon, Salon Today, American Spa, ASCP magazine. Those are some magazines that's going to keep up with the law, some trendy things in skincare, what the relevant things that are going on. It keeps you in the loop, okay? And it also helps with licensure and those things that help prevent you from being unsuccessful. All right. So that has been really the close of chapter 6. We'll move into chapter 7 on Friday. But Wednesday, as a project together, we are going to create a pH scale. Okay. We're going to create a pH scale, and we're going to do it live on Canva. So the hair products or those aesthetic products that you like, we're going to research them together. We're going to look for the safety data sheets, and we're going to take those products and put on the pH scale. All right. And so that's going to be where we are. Do we have any questions for the closing out of chapter 6? All right. Do everybody knows where to look for the check-in questions? Okay. At the bottom of chapter 6, you will see the slides. You always see the slide review. Inside of the slide review, you'll find your questions. See that one? Check-in number 1. Describe pure substances, physical mixtures, and give examples. And you'll go into your ebook and go through the book and find the answer. Number 2, check-in question. Number 3, check-in question. Number 4, and number 5. Number 6. So those were 6 questions. If you have not turned those in as of yesterday, I'm going to give you to Friday to turn those in, okay? Get your check-in questions together. And also get ready for Wednesday night. We are going to build our own digital pH scale, okay? That's really all. Let's see. And y'all, our class is pretty light because we had a couple of students to graduate. We don't have, well, I didn't see Amber. Amber's still in. We got about 5 students still in. I just need to see where they are. I've been busy. Hospital today. Continue to lift my family up. We just continue praying for health and strength of my mom. But I always have time for you guys, okay? We are preparing to go back into the building. I plan on, by mid-March, having a plan of going back in. We're going back in April, but I just want to have a plan. I want to present you guys with a plan of what that day looks like and things of that nature, what that night looks like as well. Miss Malone is teaching the day aesthetics on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 to about 11:30. Okay, you guys feel free to jump in. It's an opportunity for you to check out another teacher, but also get some extra hours. Okay. I'm gonna prepare to let you guys go. If you need anything, you can text me. But what I need you guys to do is find some products or ingredients that you like, and we're going to, probably products, not ingredients. We're going to put them on the pH scale come Wednesday when we do it together in our Zoom, okay?